Gary Dunn Show. My name is Gary Smith, and on today's show we're going to talk with Coach Dunn about this past weekend's action at Slippery Rock, and then we're going to look all around the PSAC with scores, standings, and more, and schedules, and that's the more part of it. And then look ahead to this weekend's opponent, the Mercyhurst Lakers. And Coach, welcome today. First cold day of the year.
Yeah, little frost out there this morning.
Yeah, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed checking their tires today and seeing that they were about 10 pounds lower.
Had to pre-start the car this morning to get it to warm up a little bit.
Well, we'll get right into it, Coach. Saturday, big game at Slippery Rock. Tell the two halves. You knew going into the game it was going to be just a tough game just because Slippery Rock is playing well. It's their homecoming, big crowd. But we'll break it down, first half, second half. First half, 14-13, it was back and forth, and we'll start there.
Yeah, I really thought we carried the action in the first half. Liked the way we started on both sides of the ball. We came out, we executed the game plan. We made some big plays. Defense got us a turnover. I really thought we carried the action in the first half. Unfortunately, we got down in the red zone there and threw an interception. But that's going to happen. The kid made a nice play on the ball. But really was happy with the way that we played, or the way that we started the game. I thought our defense did a really good job of flying to the ball and tackling. I thought offense executed some plays. Amari Hopkins, we hit him on a big play. Got down in the red zone and converted into touchdowns. Unfortunately, the wind was a factor again this week. Anthony missed an extra point. Really, really close, but that wind really took it. First half, it's 14-13. We're right where we want to be. I thought the kids played hard. Thought we, had a good plan going in, and here we go. We're in a ball game.
And that's got to be one of the hardest things to do, coming out and playing a tough team at home on homecoming that evenly in the first half, because there's so much stuff away from just the X's and O's that teams have to deal with. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, when you kick the ball off, you got to be ready to play. And I thought our guys were. I thought we were locked in pregame. I thought both coaching staffs did a nice job of having a plan put together. And we're in the ball game. I really thought we don't turn the ball over there. We probably go in with a lead at halftime. But our kids battled and competed. And okay, now it's 14-13 at the half. Let's go play the second half.
And then the second half, third quarter was the afternoon, because Slippery Rock just
didn't execute in the third quarter. And give Slippery Rock credit, but 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we played Indiana, I decided at halftime that I was going to take the win in the fourth quarter. I did the same thing this week, and looking back, maybe it wasn't as good of a decision up at Indiana. We really controlled the third quarter going into that wind. I always like to take it in the fourth just in case it's a close ball game, and hey, you got to kick a field goal at the end of the game. Then you're aided by the wind rather than you're going to have to get inside probably the 15 with the way that wind and the weather was going. Give Slippery Rock credit. They made plays in the third quarter, and we did it. I think we could have coached better in the third quarter. I think we obviously could have played better in the third quarter. And then I think we started to press. Our guys know that that's a big game. That's a big rivalry. But still into the third quarter, we come out, we get a 3-and-out. Unfortunately, we give up a fake punt. And that was really the play to me that changed the momentum of that third quarter. Our defense came out and had a great plan at halftime, got a 3-and-out, and then we give up the fake punt. And even though they didn't convert, at the points on the fake punt, boy, did it flip the field. Now we're pinned inside the 10. Now we're going to be a little bit more conservative. Now we're inside the 10 going into the wind, which is where maybe I made the mistake. So now we're 3rd and 10 going into the wind. Unfortunately, we got a couple penalties called when we were backed up. So now against a really good defense, when you're 2nd and 20, 3rd and 15, it's hard to convert those downs, and they won the field possession battle in the third quarter. But still, hey, they get down and score. We're down. It's a one-score game. We're still in the game. Unfortunately, we got a penalty on the kickoff return, and now we're pinned inside the 10 again. And really, that was the difference. I thought after that third quarter, we played to the scoreboard a little bit, and that's what I'm going to talk to the team about today. It's only a loss if we don't grow from it and we don't learn from it. One of our sayings, play the next play. Turn the scoreboard off. Don't worry about the scoreboard. That, to us, is an outside factor that we can't control. All we can control is our effort, our assignment, our alignment on this next play. And I thought in the fourth quarter, unfortunately, we didn't live by that. So that's something we're going to have to learn and grow from. But Slippery Rock's a good team. I just wish we would have played better in the third quarter and gave ourselves an opportunity.
Well, despite all that, at the end of the fourth quarter, your team did have a really good drive to kind of just end the game on some good momentum, convert on a touchdown drive, kill up some time. But it was good to see just because, in that situation could just fold it in, but they went down and scored.
That's not in our DNA. I think our culture is strong. And one thing I was really pleased with the team, there was no bickering. There was no, there was some frustration on the sideline, more offensively than defensively, that we weren't executing the way we want to. And again, not making excuses, going into that win was tough. Slippery Rock's a good defense. We just, we had a go ball down the sideline that we dropped that would have changed the complexion of that game in the third quarter. That's probably a 70-yard touchdown any other time. We just didn't finish the catch. But give them credit. But our guys battled, they competed, and I got no worry whether they're going to sack it or, our guys are going to compete and play hard. And I think we did that. We just didn't make plays and we didn't execute, and Slippery Rock did.
And looking at some of the numbers, you said the passing game was a little rough all day with the wind and just the way the game was going. But Davis Black, despite having some struggles in the air, 3 touchdown runs for him, and offensively running the ball for the team over 100 yards rushing, 124 yards as a team. So at least moving the ball, especially against tough defense and
really
in
in the first
weather.
half, like I said, I thought we controlled the action. I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage. We ran the ball effectively. We hit a big RPO. We hit some other things on them, and in the second half, we got behind the sticks, and against a good defense going into the win, that's really hard, and I thought that was the difference.
And defensively, as we talk about every week, your front seven getting behind the line of scrimmage, had a couple, 3 sacks for 17 yards and then 4 tackles for a loss. And you see a lot of the guys 5, 6, 4, 3, 7 tackles for the game.
Yeah, I thought we played well up until the fourth quarter. We missed some tackles in the fourth quarter. They got some explosive athletes. But our job's to play defense, and obviously the offense was struggling in the third quarter to get them off the field, and they played a lot of snaps, but that doesn't matter. Their job is to play defense, no matter where, no matter when they're called, is to go out there and play defense. Unfortunately, we misfit some things in the second half in the run game, and then we missed tackles, and we talk about it every week. What is it? It's run to the football, it's tackle, and it's take the football away. And in the fourth quarter, we didn't do that. So give Slippery Rock credit. We've got to be better. We've got to, that's the point where I thought maybe we played a little bit to the scoreboard. Maybe we started doing something a little extra effort. I got to make this big play, and that's not when we're going to have success. We're going to have success by all 11 doing their job on every single play, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the score is. Do your job, and good things will happen. And unfortunately, we got away from that as coaches and players. So the coaches have to own this too. When we've got to make better adjustments, and we got to put our kids in better situations. And obviously in the third quarter, we didn't do that.
Well, let's take a look at the action from this past weekend's game at Slippery Rock, and then when we come back, we'll talk about this upcoming week's opponent, the Mercers Lakers. You're watching the Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV.
A new season of Vulcan football is set to begin September 9th versus Kutztown, September 16th versus Shepherd, September 23rd at Edinboro, September 30 versus Clarion, October 7th at IUP, homecoming October 14th versus Seton Hill, October 21st at Slippery Rock, October 28th versus Mercyhurst, November 4th at Gannon, November 11th at East Stroudsburg. All games available on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network.
Vulcan Volleyball is back, and you can have the best seat in the house. The Convocation Center will be rocking with 11 home games featuring some of the best teams in the region and the PSAC. All home games will be streamed live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Follow Cal Vulcans on all social media platforms for up-to-date schedules and information. Vulcan Volleyball and you, a winning combination.
Suffering from World Cup withdrawal? Well, Vulcan men's and women's soccer has you covered. Come up and watch the region's best soccer teams do battle in a combined 18 home games at the beautiful Phillipsburg Soccer Complex. In addition, 3 men's and 3 women's home games will be featured live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Follow Cal Vulcans for up-to-date information on all things Vulcan soccer. Are you a Penn West California student looking to get involved in media? You have 2 great choices, and for both, all majors are welcome. CUTV is the home for Vulcan sports. Be a part of 80-plus live games both home and on the road. We're looking for announcers, camera operators, graphic operators, and much more. There are also opportunities to develop your own shows. Go to our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1, and see all of the content. WCAL Radio gives you the opportunity to play your music and develop your own show. Be heard locally over the air in a 40-mile radius and worldwide online. That's 91.9 FM, Power 92. SAI Media of CUTV and WCAL. Get out, join up, be seen, and be heard.
Oh, hand off to McGriff. They're going to go with the double reverse here. And Terrence going to throw it. It finds Jackson on the near side for a touchdown for the Vulcans. A hand off to McGriff. He's going to stumble forward. We're breaking it in. Touchdown, Vulcans. Austin Brooks fakes the handoff, looking downfield. Oh, it's going to let it fly downfield. And almost not down the sideline and in for a touchdown, Lakers. Double end around on to Jackson. Jackson on the far side. Dives, gets the pylon. Or screen pass caught. He's got a lot of room to run. And as the Vulcans send the blitz, he's in the open field. Across the 20 to 10, the 5. Touchdown, Lakers. And the Vulcans are going to hand it off and touchdown on Vulcan. And this time, Deontay Williams with it. Alsterbrook drops back. Looking for a man. He's going to hold fires. There's in the back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, home Lakers. Finds a man and Tarrant into the end zone. Touchdown, Vulcans. 2 tight end set. Hands it off to McCann. McCann's going to rumble forward. Touchdown, Vulcans.
All right, and welcome back to the Gary Dunn Show for this week. And Coach, we just talked about the Slippery Rock game, and before we break down this upcoming week's opponent, the Mercyhurst Lakers, let's take a look back at everything going on in the PSAC this past week. We talked about the Cal Slippery Rock game, of course. Other scores in the West: Clarion goes to Edinboro and gets a win 34-20. Gannon goes to Mercyhurst and wins on a last-second field goal 31-28. And then in the final West game, Seton Hill wins in the last second against IUP 35-28. And over in the PSAC East, Shepherd holds serve at home 59-21 over Westchester. Kutztown goes to Lock Haven and wins 7-3. Millersville goes to Shippensburg, and Shippensburg wins at home 13-7 in the final East game. East Stroudsburg wins at home versus Bloomsburg. And if you take a look at the PSAC standings, first in the West, Slippery Rock 5-0, and then Cowan Gannon 4-1 with 2 weeks left. So there's coming down to the wire in the West, and also in the East, same situation. Kutztown 5-0, East Stroudsburg and Shepherd, not Shippensburg. Can't read my own handwriting here. Are 4-1. So 2 weeks left, Coach. There's a lot to play for everywhere in the PSAC, in the region. And I know you're going to say 1 week at a time, and so we'll concentrate on that 1 week at a time.
Yeah, we're
Mercyhurst.
We're all about Mercyhurst. Mercyhurst is really gotten better as the season went on. They struggled a little bit early, but you look at their scores the last 4 or 5 weeks, they're in every game. They're extremely well coached. They're battling. They're putting some points up. Their passing game has really come alive this second half of the season. They're doing some really nice things. Played Gannon, who's a really good ball club, tough to a last-second field goal a couple weeks ago against Slippery Rock. It was a back-and-forth game in the first half, and unfortunately Mercyhurst turned it over a couple times early in the third quarter. Kind of mirrored our game. Slippery Rock and Mercyhurst played them really tough until the third quarter, and then had a couple turnovers, had one on a kick return, and Slippery Rock, opportunistic, turned those into points. Played a really, really good game against Clarion a couple weeks ago. So they've gotten probably, as a coach, you really want to see your team improve as the season goes on, and I really see them. I watched a ton of film yesterday. Went back and watched their Indiana film, which is a few weeks ago. Then I watched their Slippery Rock film. Then I watched their Gannon film, and you can just see that they're getting better every week. So we've got to take care of ourselves. We've got to talk about, work on, and do the things that we talked about earlier, and we'll have a chance to have success. If we don't, then we won't. But this is a huge game for us. It's senior day for us at home, last home game of the season. So we've got to have a great week of preparation and be ready to play a really, really improving good football team.
Now, for Mercyhurst, on the offensive side of the ball, are they more of a run-oriented team, pass?
They try to stay balanced. They're going to run a ton of what we call mesh plays, crossing routes. They'll take some shots down the field. Their quarterback's doing a really nice job, but they're a balanced offense. They're probably having a little more success throwing the football right now. They've got a group of receivers that are all talented kids. They got a quality tailback. They got a big O-line. It's funny to watch them improve offensively over the year. I think the quarterback was new, and he's kind of found his groove and his guys and how they do things. So they're going to be a balanced offense, but I think they've had more success throwing the ball than running the ball.
And on the other side of the ball, what kind of schemes do they bring on the defense?
Everyone you can imagine. Very similar to our defense. They'll play an odd front. They'll play an even front. They'll play man coverage. They've got a nice little blitz package where they'll show you cover zero and bring everybody. Then they'll show you the same look and drop everybody. So really nice defense. They base out of a 3-4. But very similar to our defense. So I think our defense prepares us well against them. There are some similarities but differences, but it's really a multiple front, multiple coverage package. So you've got to be on your details, and you've got to be able to communicate. 2 weeks ago, I didn't think we communicated great. We've got to have great communication this week and to have a chance to have success.
And what's the message to the team this week? You have, you mentioned it's senior day. It seems like the last month it's been some kind of day, 3 straight homecoming games now into the era where there's going to be probably senior days the next 3 weeks. And I know it's always special for your team's, your own team's senior day, but what's the message to the team just to stay on point this week?
Yeah, let's just keep improving. Let's keep getting better. We've got a lot to play for, but it all starts this week. Our guys have put themselves in a position that every game is a big game by what we did earlier in the year. So this one's no different. We got a 1-game season, 2023 schedule on the PowerPoint today. We'll say Mercyhurst, and just take care of our business. Be about our preparation. We're going to cut. We've started to cut practice back a little bit the last couple of weeks, just because it is a grind. You talk about being here for preseason camp on August 5th. What's the date today? I don't even know.
I think it's like October 23rd, maybe.
We talk about Groundhog Day in coaching, right? Every Monday is the same. Every Tuesday is the same. So I was talking with Jimmy Hoover after practice. I said the other day, I said, Jimmy, what month is it? And he started laughing. He said, Coach, you're not asking the date, you're asking the month. Because as a coach, you do the same thing every Sunday, every Monday, every Tuesday. So we've been at this a long time. So we've got to start cutting back a little bit and focus more on the mental aspect of it than the physical aspect. So we moved practice up today. We moved our meetings up today in an effort to get our kids off the field and down a little bit earlier. We're going to continue to cut practice back a little bit to try and keep them fresh because, injuries are starting to creep up. And it's not just us. I'm sure Mercyhurst has the same issues. And so we got to keep our guys fresh and mentally ready to go.
And Coach, it is Senior Day. What's the message to the seniors? Because they've been through a lot in the past couple of years. I mean, this is one of the groups that we're going to say in the next year or two that were affected by 2020.
Yeah, just keep it in perspective. It's a 60-minute football game. I would much rather, I was just talking with our athletic director before we got in here, I would much rather celebrate graduation than Senior Day. That's why we bring these guys here is to earn their degrees. That's always my favorite day is when when I'm standing in the lobby of the Convocation Center during graduation. That's what we were. Obviously your career is not over. We have, I think it's more impactful when your last game is your home game, and that's Senior Day. We've got a lot to play for, so let's keep it in perspective. I don't know if I should say this. I'm not a big fan of Senior Days, to be honest with you. I'm just an old coach that just wants to play ball. So you could ask my wife about that.
Well, maybe we'll after the show. But Senior Day this Saturday, last home game at Adamson Stadium, 12 o'clock noon. Coach, what's your pitch to the students and the fans in the area?
Going to be a great day. Have you seen the weather this week?
I think like 90 degrees.
Today. No, it's like in the 70s. All week and 65 on Saturday. So after the last couple weeks of weather that we had, the last 3 weeks probably, it's going to be a nice day at Adamson Stadium. Come on up. Let's get the tailgate going. Let's get the grills going. It's going to be a great day. And again, this team has put themselves in a position to have big games at the end of the year. And as a coach, that's all you can ask for is put yourself in a position that you're still playing meaningful football in late October, early November. And that's where we're at right now.
And there's a lot of big games going on this week in the PSAC, as we mentioned earlier. Last 2 weeks of divisional play. Obviously, California Mercers, 12 o'clock noon. Get there early. Wear your red and black. Give Coach and I a couple hot dogs and hamburgers on the way in. That would be very much appreciated. Other games in the West, Edinburgh travels to Seton Hill for a noon kickoff. Clarion traveling to Slippery Rock for a 1 o'clock kickoff. And then Gannon goes to IUP for a 2 o'clock kickoff. And over in the PSAC East, Westchester going to Lock Haven for a 1 o'clock kick, Shippensburg going to East Stroudsburg for a 1 o'clock kick, and Shepherd going to Bloomsburg for a 2 o'clock kick. But the one game schedules, me and Coach talked about it. Circle it, 12 o'clock Saturday. Get there early. Get the tailgate lots open probably about 6 a.m. So get there early. If you can't be there, CUTV and WCA will have you covered. Be live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network. So for Coach Dunn,
here's my last pitch.
Last pitch. Right? We got one bonus pitch.
We're getting close to November, right? There's not going to be too many more outdoor activities in Western Pennsylvania that you can do, right? So Saturday's going to be a beautiful day at Adamson Stadium. Get out and you'll thank me back in January when you can't leave your house for a couple months. You'll thank me. So let's get the tailgates out, bring a friend, and let's have a great day at Adamson Stadium.
I can't add any more to that. So wear your red and black, bring your friends, bring your tailgating gear, and bring your Vulcan Nation spirit. So for Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. We'll see you next week on The Gary Dunn Show.